of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place we ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize, Creole and Garifuna.
Today we're going to look at Cedric, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, sometimes our very life is on the line. Not here in Belize, but other parts of the world where people step up for the Lord. And those people have to make a decision as to what they're going to do. Being a Muslim, being a Christian in a Muslim country, especially a more aggressive one, I can just imagine that amongst the Taliban, those who decide to be Christians, you better make sure that you're serious about what you're going to do. You got to make sure that you're very serious about what you're going to do, because there's danger there in some of the Middle Eastern countries as well. In India, they say when a person gets baptized, the person walks through the village, showing everybody what they have done. And those persons who are convinced, they know what is on the table, but they also have seen the light. They have seen the light. Here in Belize, it's good, but it's also bad, because people could be free to flip-flop. Not in those places. In chapter 3 of the book of Daniel, starting from verse 16, we're going to read this morning. It says, Cedric, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. He's already proposed to them because they refused to bow down. So they are saying to him, we will answer you, and we're not going to be careful in this answer that we give. We are simply going to not bow down. They said they're not going to be careful in this any answer. He said, if it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and we will deliver, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. You see that? They are showing their faith in the Lord. They say, if it come to whatever to be saved, our God can save us, and we are going to be careful how we answer you. Verse 18 says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Now this is, I believe, easier said than done for a lot of people, because people have not considered what is on the table. Even when our life is on the line like this, we better ask God to support us in these times, because as they're saying, if they compromise their position, it's going to be a temporary reprieve. But really and truly, they would have lost their salvation on a long-term basis, which they were not up to, they were not willing to do. And we must ask God for that. And if these boys are demonstrating to us, even when the most important thing that you have, your soul is on the line, be careful how you give up the Lord. How the world responds, how the devil wants to respond in verse 19. That then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and all the form of his visage was changed against Cedric, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. So in order to heat the oven 7 times hotter. Now the king is angry with these fellows. They are seeing just problems now. So the devil puts a face on them that they will may just shrink back and say, all right, we change our mind. These boys did not change their mind. And the Lord said that these things are written as an example to you and I, to strengthen us, that if we find ourselves in this situation, we already know what we're going to do. To ask God to be with us through things like these, because compromise is not good. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Cedric, Meshach, and Abednego and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. So the decision was made that he's going to destroy these boys. sometimes when we see destruction, it's only for a temporary period, even if it comes. But destruction of the soul is a perpetual thing that will never stop. And when we put two things together, saving our soul is the most important thing in this life. As a matter of fact, it's more about loving God. Loving God, because they are saying that they will not worship this image that Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Then these men were bound in their coat, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fire. So the children minister said they had said, but they had made up their minds, something in their experience, to believe, sincerely believe that things can happen. And it is the doubt that keeps us from getting the answer to our prayers. So the Lord has shown me last night again. It's the doubt that we have. These boys said what they think is going to happen. They will not bow down, and they believe saving is supposed to be, if they're supposed to be saved, then God is going to save them. And that's what they believe. Something that exposed them to the Word of God, exposed them to God, has given this assurance to them that they can stand firm. So then these men were bound, therefore, because the king commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flames of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. See, God always give evidence, because there are some people who are evil. They'll want to tell you why they didn't burn, or if it's even true. Some people will look at this and say, this may not even be true. Why are you believing this nonsense? This is fairy tale. We as Christians believe this. But there are people who are going to try to get us not to believe. And they have already won if they get us not to believe these things. It says, then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and he rose up in his haste and spake and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of a 4th is like the son of a god. Because that's who it is. That's who it is. That is who it is. God rescues. Sometimes we have to be the bridge for people to pass over to come into heaven. Sometimes God will ask some people to die, but others may live. The Bible says that for a seed to grow, it has to die. Some people will be asked to do things like that. And God is omniscient. He knows everything. So Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who had sent his angel and delivered his servants that trusted in him, and have changed the king's word, and yielded their bodies, but that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Ladies and gentlemen, the life we live is the greatest sermon we preach. The sermon that these boys preach back in Babylon in this day changed the heart of one of the most ferocious kings. That in the Bible, prior to that, the Bible referred to Nebuchadnezzar as a servant of God. And how did he become a servant of God? By the adamance of these fellows. These boys were already chosen to live a good life. And Nebuchadnezzar tried to use that to convince them to go against the things of God. But God had already put a stamp on these fellows. Has God put a stamp on you, and have you turned away from God? Many people turn away from God for worldly things. And sometimes when you think you're saving your life, you're actually losing it. And when we come to God, we are bond servants. We have decided to follow Jesus. He is the way. I implore you, look carefully in your life and ask God to help you to remove sin from your life. The church has too much of that. People who are half-heartedly serving the Lord.
With 30 years of experience, Builders Hardware has been your trusted one-stop shop for building supplies and construction materials. We're not just about products, we're about exceptional service and excellent prices. Plus, with unbeatable prices on renowned brands and the largest selection of construction supplies available, why go anywhere else? Got a project on your hands? Let us lighten the load. Whether you're tackling the biggest commercial project or the tiniest home renovations, our dedication and commitment ensures that you get the best. Roofing materials? Check. Cement and steel? Check. Sand and gravel? Double check. And if you don't see something you need, just ask, because at Builders Hardware, we've got you covered from construction start to finish. Call us or visit us on Constitution Drive in Bloemfontein and experience the difference. Oh, and did we mention, we offer convenient delivery services anywhere in Belize, so you can focus on your project while we handle the logistics. Builders Hardware, 30 years of serving you. We think our customers are awesome.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
The Climate Finance Unit, established in 2022 within the Ministry of Economic Development, focuses on accessing climate finance to support Belize's adaptation and mitigation targets. Within 2 years, the CFU has secured $166 million in climate funds for environmentally sustainable sectors in Belize. Key CFU projects include a $77.6 million initiative to enhance the resilience of northern sugarcane farmers. This project will benefit 5,000 farmers and strengthen Belize's sugar industry, a critical economic sector. Additionally, CFU is leading a $44 million IDB-funded wastewater and solid waste management project on Key Cocker to enhance the island's environmental health. Through the IDB Klima initiative, Belize can receive a 5% loan rebate by achieving climate and biodiversity targets. The CFU's ongoing work supports a range of sectors, including agriculture, water security, and coastal management, and has created over 144 jobs through climate finance projects.
Welcome to Builders Hardware, your one-stop home improvement warehouse. Everything you need to bring your projects to life, all in one place. From nails to power tools, we've got you covered. Our inventory spans the essential for every project, big or small. Come and find quality products at unbeatable prices. Whether you're picking up paint, plumbing supplies, or electrical tools, you'll find great deals every day. Don't know what you need? Our expert and customer-friendly team is here to guide you through every step of your project. Need it delivered? We've got you covered there too. Get your products delivered to you anywhere in the country. So come on in and discover endless possibilities for your home renovations. Builders Hardware. We think our customers are
awesome! Hello, Bamapan. Welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at Bamapan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business, so let's take a closer look at it.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know, nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize, be like Belize.
It is 20 minutes after 7 o'clock. My name is Louis Wade, and I am one of the hosts you on a beautiful Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and it is a pleasure coming into your homes. Whether you are watching us on the PlusTV Belize app, PlusTV Belize Facebook page, PlusTV Belize YouTube channel, or on our cable systems countrywide, it is certainly a pleasure to have you join us. I want to encourage you to share the link, post the link, let other people know, of course, that Rise and Shine is here and readily available. This morning we want to talk about immigration. We want to talk about what is taking place in the United States, what Belizeans can expect. There is also a little clip that's going around, somebody wrote up a clip saying that Palestinians will be coming to Belize. How much truth is in that, and if so, how do we move forward? So we want to take a look at sovereignty. What does a nation mean? what is open borders, who are these people that are pushing an open open border policy where people can just move and live where they want. We have all of these issues that we want to take a look at this morning. And of course, we take your telephone calls at 822-2031. So let's start off with our weather report for this morning. Yesterday, we said that it was going to be cloudy and that cloudiness would prevail for the next 24 hours. However, yesterday afternoon, we were able to see some beautiful sunshine. It was mixed with rain. And for us, you know that we do soil, and a lot of people are asking for soil because it's the beginning of the year, which means that people want to get into their gardening. I've just started to clean the weeds out of my garden to get ready to plant again. So I know that we are definitely heading into a good year of gardening with the amount of people that are contacting us for soil. But it's also raining a lot, which means that the soil is still moist and we want to dry it a little bit more. So the weather that we need is not the weather that we're having. We need a couple more days of sunshine. But yesterday afternoon, the sun came out, and in the capital city of Belmopan, as we speak, there is sunshine. So we can still see a rise and shine. The sun is shining for us right now. Now, what is the general situation? It says that conditions remain marginally moist over the area. For the next 24 hours, you can expect sunny with some cloudy spells today and cloudy at times tonight. There will be a few showers likely to occur mainly over coastal areas of the country. Marine conditions, winds are blowing from the east to northeast at 5 to 15 knots. Sea state is choppy while waves are 3 to 5 feet. Temperatures. Inland, you can expect 86 degrees as the high and 72 as the low. On the coast, 84 degrees as the high with 76 as the low. And in the hills, 74 degrees will be the high and 65 is expected as the low. Showers will be generally isolated on Wednesday and then increase slightly on Wednesday night. So that is the weather forecast for us this morning. Now we want to, yesterday we had LJ with me, and Brother Fem was with me as well, and we discussed the weekend's murder, and we also discussed the issue of the coin, of the currency that the government unveiled. I shared the things that I liked about it and also the things that I don't like. The topic that we were not able to get to was the situation with the United Democratic Party. And I said that this morning I also want to talk a little bit about what is taking place in the United States and its effect upon Belize, Central America, and some of these other countries. So my thoughts on the currency, the US currency, was that I believe that we are at a point where we do need to produce new currency. So I think the last time that we had a currency change was for independence. At that time, the Queen was alive. You are looking at Queen Elizabeth II, who was really the longest reigning modern monarch. And so she created stability over the entire kingdom, the United Kingdom. She created a level of stability which the world had not seen in modern times. In other words, she became queen at a very young age and lived to reign for a very ripe old age. As a matter of fact, you will see that when her son became king, he is an old man. he's an elderly man. You know, so she lived very long, and that kind of stability allowed us to see the same image on the currency. And so I think it is natural for those Belizeans who loved the Queen, loved what she represented, the stability that she reigned over a very stable empire, and for older Belizeans who are moving from out of the colonial system into the new neo-colonial system, because really and truly, in my opinion, there are many ways where certain Belizeans have really taken over the country and believe that they own it and function and act that way in the political realm. So, but we have moved to independence, but being a Commonwealth nation, Queen Elizabeth remained on our dollar. So we have had that dollar, the currency with the Queen on it for an extremely long time. So I don't think that the argument to say that because people still love Queen Elizabeth on the money, that means that they are old or archaic or anti-independence or I don't think so. I think it's just human nature to enjoy the stability of certain things. And the older you get, you appreciate stability. And I think that's what it is. But those people who have that kind of impression need to understand that the Queen has died and that new currency will be printed. And the question now is, will it be the king, or do we move into our own design, our own maturity, our own path? Because that is what sovereignty is all about. Sovereignty is a very, very important word. It is where your people, and you hear what they say, your people decide the path that they want to take. And I am a person, and I have always been a person who believes in people participation. Because from the Bible, from the Word of God, we believe that leaders are to be servant leaders. In other words, you serve the people. You don't boss over the people. You do not lord it over the people. But you will take into consideration what the people want and where the people want to go. And so it is important. We have not had another leader like George Cadle Price, because George Cadle Price walked hand in hand with the people of Belize, steered the people to independence, not because George Price wanted independence, but because the majority of people in Belize wanted independence, and George Price led them to what the people wanted. He inspired the people through speeches. He was a present persona. He was not ruling from a distance. George Price would visit homes, would sit at their table. He would check their pot to see what they were eating. He would have conversations with local people and always rub shoulders with them. That was the nature of the Right Honorable George Cadle Price. Could you imagine that in today's technological advancements, we have social media, we have radio, television, we have all of these means, yet our leaders speak to us less. Our leaders inspire us less than George Cadle Price. Think about that. That in an era of only the radio, George Price was able to paint a vision. George Price was able to articulate a direction, a dream, a Belizean dream for independence that we receive. Our leaders today paint no picture of the Belizean dream. What are the Belizean dreams, Belizean goals, Belizean aspirations? At this weekend's Global Leadership Summit, I really had the opportunity to think when Dr. Sam, who was invited all the way from Africa, very powerful speaker, very powerful leader in Nigeria, came, and he began to talk about how you move a country from poverty, how you move a people from poverty. And one of the things that he said that captured my thought and imagination is he said, your leaders need to speak to you weekly, to paint what is the Belizean dream. You see, America, there is an American dream. There is an American dream. There is an American dream. And no wonder Belizeans, they rush to America. Because there is no Belizean dream, but they want the American dream. Because the American dream is well painted. We have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday morning.
Wait, Benafi, Rev.
Good morning, good morning. Buiti Benafi.
I just want to make a slight contribution to what you had said about the Right Honorable George Price.
Certainly.
And this is what I continue to tell people all over. The difference between George Price and the rest is as like night and day. Why? George Price was imbued with wisdom. He put God first. The national prayer dictates that.
All right, I'm sorry, we have a problem here. Carla, are you still on? We lost. We lost the call. Carla, could you please call back? Carla, could you please call back? So there is a contrast. So it's like we want George Price on the money, but we don't want his values, his ideals, his ability to speak to the nation, to inspire hope. All those are dead. But we want the picture of George Price. We should want to also emulate the values that he represented. And I am fully aware that there are people who are UDP or NIP or come from a different background that don't appreciate the values of George Price, which is why we have Philip Goldson. He's there for those who he inspired. And his life is an inspiration because he was blind in the later part of his life, yet he led his people. He was not able to become prime minister, but he was certainly a leader who loved his country. And so the issue of sovereignty is a people's desire within a nation to forge their own path in the world. And I believe that the discussion of sovereignty is important because when it comes to England, our leaders don't like England because of the colonial past, because they believe that the United Kingdom ruled over us and took advantage of us. But how different is that from some of our own leaders today who sit now in the seat where England used to sit and now rule over us, are not interested in our ideas, are not interested in our opinions, are not interested in finding out where we as a nation want to go, because they have already predetermined where they want to take us to their benefit. And let me say, to the benefit of their wallets, to the benefit of the wallets, the pockets, the bank accounts of our current leaders. So it is neocolonialism in that it seeks to replace one colonial power with a different master that is just the color of our skin. But they feel they are better than us because they don't want to hear what we have to say in a referendum. They are not interested in an empowering referenda, which is the voice of the people in a tangible democratic way, nor even whole press conferences to tell us what is happening or have us ask them questions. Much less to find out an opinion from us about what we think about the flag, the national anthem, or currency, whether or not Belize should be a republic or should remain as a country under the Commonwealth. They don't want to hear from us. They have already made up their minds. So, is it true sovereignty if our leaders push aside England but then sell us out to United Nations, or sell us out to World Health Organization or some other international body that is calling the shots in your country, including the United States, under plans like the Carsey plan, where they push money into your country so that they can have their agenda. Are you sovereign if the shots are being called from outside? I think this is a question that we need to ask, because it is related to issues like immigration, the economy, our social fabric, issues like gender identity, issues of which immigrants will come into our country and who will not come, our relationship with Israel versus Palestine, all of these things, the cost of fuel and increasing inflation, they are related to these issues that we are seeing. No, the opposition is in shambles. The opposition is in total shambles. But that does not mean that the government of the day should rule without consulting the people on important issues. Whether or not the opposition is present or absent, powerful or powerless, it should be the desire of the governing party, it should be the desire intrinsically from inside to serve the people and to find out constantly what it is that the people want and where they want to go. You could say anything you want about Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is carrying out the wishes and desires of the people who voted and put him in. He is serving his people. His popularity is going up. His favorability is going up. And we are seeing ICE and the crackdown on illegal immigrants primarily, or I should say in the first instance, because it's not going to stop there. In the first instance, we see the criminal elements that they're taking off the street, including some Belizeans. Because I saw video footage which include Belizean gangsters being arrested. And they will be deported back to Belize. And that is just the first wave, because they are absolutely looking at not only criminal, illegal immigrants, but they are looking at illegal immigrants who may be law-abiding, but you broke a law because you went into the country and you stayed longer than you should. You went into the country illegally, not through a point of entry. You said you went to visit, but you got to live. You have broken the law. And so, ICE is coming for you. Why? Because that is the wish of the American people. By virtue of their votes, what was campaigned and clearly articulated in the campaign, and the side that won and the side that lost. And so sovereignty is important, because the job of the President of the United States is to make the United States great, to make them powerful, to make them the most important power in the world. So how can you have an organization like United Nations, World Health Organization, which feed upon the money of the United States? Feed upon the money of the United States. America funds massive amounts of money to United Nations, to World Health Organization. The numbers in World Health Organization, annually America gives 500 million. China, which is far more populated, pretends to be a world power, gives 35. You have 500 million on one hand, 35 million on the other, and then the World Health Organization and United Nations. People in Belize too, they want to go to states, but they want to cuss out America, cuss out Trump, cuss out. And so you want their money, but you don't want the influence that comes with it. So sovereignty, America is exerting sovereignty. That's what you are seeing, because Biden could not exert sovereignty over their country. They said, this is our country. We will make our country great. We will do what it takes to put our country as number one. That is the American right. They have an American dream that they have to deliver to their people. What is the Belizean dream? What is the Belizean dream? And so Dr. Sam was saying, it is the job of our leaders, our prime minister. He says should be appearing to the country on a weekly basis, speaking about the Belizean dream, so that you cannot begin to have a national psyche, a national thinking, a national pursuit, unless you have a national dream of what it looks like to be a successful Belizean. Is it being a gangster? Is it being a cartel player? Is it being custom officer? Everybody want to be custom officer. Is it being a teacher, building the... What is the Belizean dream? And whose job is it to paint it and to push us in that direction? It's the job of our leaders. So when our leaders don't want to talk to us and then don't want to hear from us, we have a problem. And that is the problem that the currency, the unveiling of the currency is demonstrating. It is demonstrating a disconnect between the governing powers and the people. Because people don't like that design. They don't like it. And I personally believe it is incomplete. But you think the government care? You think they want to hear from us? Do you think our opinions matter? Because it is true that we have 500,000 people in the country, 400,000 people in the country. But you're not going to get 400,000 opinions. The opinions, as you listen to them, begin to just morph into a few complaints. Number one, it looked like pesos. You know, whether or not it looks like pesos does not matter, you know. What matters is the fact that the Belizean people are telling you it look like pesos and they don't want no pesos. You're not going to compare the thing and say, the pesos look like this, that Belize, you'd be an idiot. You are being an idiot. If you are now bringing the money of the pesos and bringing the money of the Belizean currency and putting together to show how different it is, you miss the point. You miss the point. When the Belizean people are saying the money look like pesos, what they are saying is you may not have devalued the money currency-wise, but you have reduced the value of the look. The value of the look. It's not Belizean. The money has cheapened, not necessarily in monetary value, but in the eyes of the Belizean people, which should concern you. It should matter to you if you are a servant leader. But if you are a boss, you will just show we who the boss, and if you like it or not like it, you don't care because you are put it out there because you are the man. That's the difference between boss and leader. That is the difference. You see? So, I believe that the most legitimate complaint that has come from the currency has to do with the fact that only George Price and Philip Goldson are on the currency. That, I believe, is the most, not just a complaint, I believe that it is a legitimate concern. Legitimate. Because there are other national heroes that can be and should be, ought to be on the currency. I am firmly, because it was the first thing I noticed. It was the first thing I noticed. So I will say again, the central bank should be able to ensure that all of the security features are present. But when it comes to the aesthetics, the look of the currency, Belizeans should have a say. Point of final. If you are a servant of the people must be a part of the decision-making process. And that's why I believe a lot of people, the vast majority of Belizeans, I dare say, do not like the new currency because they did not have input. Why is input important? Ownership. Ownership. If you have input, you begin to feel that you were a part of the process, that you were heard, and that you in some way had a small part to play in the development. You know, go that for their money and for their idea. You go that for we. For we. And let me tell you something. There's nothing that builds a nation better than we. Wagia. Let's check that phone, please. After that caller was going to call back in. Let's make sure that the phone is working. Wagia. We. Every leader, every true leader should fight for we-ness. Not only our leaders have good ideas can come from anywhere. And as it relates to a business, a company, a church, a ministry, a nation, when people have a part of the decision-making process, there is ownership. There is ownership. That's an issue I have. So sovereignty is important because it is true that every nation is sovereign by name. But if a foreign entity, be it United States, be it England, be it the United Nations, be it European Union, there are some powerful entities in the world which seek to reduce sovereignty of small nations like Belize. And so, yes, we have to maneuver our way through the world. We have to maneuver our way. However, we need to be conscious of the fact that decisions that our leaders make, if they make the wrong decision without our input, we all suffer. That is why certain decisions are to be made collectively. You see the president from Colombia became angry because America wants to send Colombians back to Colombia who did the states illegally. Not only are they in the United States illegally, but they are causing problems illegally. Why? Colombia, the one, is the country that could not get its act together and has distributed cocaine worldwide. Some of the largest cartels in the world come from Colombia. Now, America supposed to just accept that? Well, Biden did, because in my opinion, Biden did not understand power, authority, and sovereignty of the United States. In my opinion, Biden compromised the power of the United States and capitulated to China, India, European Union, and capitulated to the millions of illegal immigrants that just made their way into the United States. In 4 years, 12 million. And I know whenever I read and I see Belizeans commenting about immigration and Donald Trump, they hate him. But you know what? A lot of Belizeans that are states illegally. Illegal. And to be illegal and or undocumented in the United States means you went there and you overstayed your time, or you went there under false premise, or you went there through the back, not through a port of entry. You broke American law. And there is a person now that who is in power who says that everyone who broke the law to get in will be sent back home. You know why that will never catch me? Because I'm not going to states illegal. I'm not going to Mexico illegal. Because I am a law-abiding citizen. I cannot just be a law-abiding citizen in my own country, don't want illegal immigrants in my own country, then I want to go and be an illegal immigrant in another person's country. That is hypocrisy. That is Belizean hypocrisy. We don't want Guatemala, we don't want Honduras, we don't want them people just come and overpower we, but we want God as states illegal. That's why you do things legally, because you never know when you will move from a Biden to a Trump, from a weakling to a powerhouse. I'm sorry, but Biden never got my respect because he squandered the currency of the power of the United States. Wars broke out in Israel and wars broke out in Ukraine. There are so many conflicts all over the world. And look at when Israel and Palestine leaders brokered a deal. It's after Trump won. And Trump said, you better have a deal before inauguration. And you know when they brokered the deal and concluded it? 2 days before inauguration. 2 days before inauguration. And Biden was still president. Like if you want proof of the incompetence of Joe Biden, that is it. The incompetence of Joe Biden. Now, a lot of Belizeans love Joe Biden because he probably represents the same kind of Belizean leadership that we have from time to time. Could you imagine that Joe Biden wrote executive orders that prevented ICE from arresting known criminals, you know. So if you committed a crime in certain parts of the United States, you are an illegal immigrant, you committed a crime, you got locked up for that crime, do you know that when you got out of jail, they wouldn't hand you over to ICE to deport you? Like they would not tell ICE. It became a law, a rule that you would not tell ICE, so ICE pick you up, make you as a criminal go back into the community, still illegal. Like I watched it and I said, man, that is no love for country. No love for country. That is like a Guatemalan coming into Belize illegally, commits a crime, goes to jail, and when he get out, we don't even tell immigration, come collect this man and send him back to Guatemala. You just release that illegal Guatemalan immigrant who has committed a crime, you release them back into the society. They're undocumented, which means they can go and do it again and perhaps get away. He also created laws where you cannot go into a church, cannot go into a school, cannot go into a church, a school, a hospital. You can't, within so much 100 yards or whatever it is. So all these immigrants would do is try to go live near a church, go live near a school, go live near one of these places, and they were untouchable. So you create law to defeat the law for the safety of immigrants over the safety of your own people. So why Americans are angry? Americans are angry because they are saying that they have poor people on the street who are American citizens that are poor and homeless. Then America under Biden brings Haitians from Haiti, bring them into the same community that have homeless Americans, but give them food, give them shelter, give them clothing, and try to find a job for them. Then when the American get vexed, then you say they're racist. It has nothing to do with race. If you ignore your own people's dilemma, the tax dollars of America, and you will not spend it on your own poor and homeless, then you will import people from another country, bring them in, and give them the same basic needs that you don't give your own people. How do you expect that there will be peace? How do you expect that the immigrants will be welcomed when the taxpayer is seeing their money used on another group of people who don't pay tax and come from another country? How do you expect to have that to be acceptable? So that's what's taking place in the United States. Now, what is the role of the church in all this? I want to, because there is a difference between a refugee, an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, and an undocumented immigrant. There are 4 different terms. Refugee, immigrant, illegal immigrant, and undocumented. 4 different terminologies, and we need to understand the difference. Number 1, who is a refugee? A refugee is a person who is running away from their country because they are under imminent, immediate threat. Their life is under threat from war, persecution, but not economic. Not economic. To qualify as a refugee, you cannot say, I can't find a job, therefore I'm going to Belize, I'm going to States. Because I tell you something about Mexico. Mexico, they holler and they cuss about their illegal their people in Mexico need to be treated with dignity. Make any Belizean go to Mexico and try live there. Try go buy land in Mexico, and you will see that Mexico is more harsh on us than America is harsh to Mexicans. You be a Belizean, go across a Mexico and try go buy land. Try go work the Mexico. Try go stay longer than your 4 days where they give you. Mexico is a great place, but they have sovereignty. They take care of their people. So America have to take care of their people too. So who is a refugee? A refugee is a person who is under immediate threat. Maybe the government changed, they were in the wrong party, and now the party want to kill them, want to put them in a jail because of their political belief, because of their religious belief, because of war. A refugee should come to your country, should come to Belize, Guatemala, anywhere, America, because a refugee is a legitimate, fully recognized individual whose life is under imminent threat, and they need a place now to hide, to move, to survive, to live. That's a refugee. Mary and Joseph were refugees when the king wanted to kill Jesus. Jesus was not an immigrant or an illegal immigrant. He was a refugee. He was under threat of death and ran to Egypt. Refugees, we are to give them food, water, clothing, anything. A church, if you're a church, somebody has applied for refugee status, help them. Help them. Help them. That is your obligation. That's a refugee. If the person does not get refugee status, I think you can still give them food, still give them water, still help them with clothing, but you need to tell them, you need to go. You have not qualified. You need to either qualify yourself through a different process, or you need to find a country where you can become a refugee. Because you, as a Christian, must always be law-abiding. So at a point in time, if a person is rejected as a refugee, you should point them to a process that legitimizes them. You can't harbor somebody that has now moved from legal to illegal. You can give them food, you can give them water, but you can't shelter them, you can't harbor them. You can help them by pointing them to another process or another system. We need to understand that as the church. Everybody deserves food and water, even an illegal immigrant. So we see here you have a refugee. Then who is a immigrant? Well, the rich one there, we like call them, what are the word we use? Expatriate, expat. Who is an expatriate? An expatriate is a person who have left their country to live in your country, but they came so legally and legitimately. They follow the process. That's an expat. They don't like their country. Well, that is also the definition of an immigrant. So an expat is an immigrant. Who is an immigrant? An immigrant is a person who leaves their country and goes to another country. And every single country has a process where you can move there legally. Legally. If you can go to America legally, go. Follow the process. Be law-abiding. Follow the process of the country you want to go. You are an immigrant, you're an expat, but you are doing it legally. There is a way to legally go to almost any country in the world. That's a migrant or immigrant. You're coming into a country to live there. You're moving from one country to the other. Nothing is wrong with that. People move. But you must do so lawfully. Now, who is an illegal immigrant? Who is an illegal immigrant? An illegal immigrant is a person who moves from one country to another, but has not followed the law. That's an illegal. In other words, they have broken laws. You can't say these are not criminals, they've broken the law. By virtue of being illegal, they have broken the law. You say they are law-abiding. They can't be, they broke a law. If you broke a law, you're not law-abiding. And in any country that honors the rule of law, they cannot honor illegal immigrants. You heard me well. Now, does an illegal immigrant deserve food and water? Yes. Yes. Every church, any church, should give food and water. Whether a person is legal or illegal, it doesn't matter if they're PUP, UDP. We give food to those who are hungry. So if an illegal immigrant is hungry, feed them. But you cannot harbor them. You can't harbor them. You might say you can stay here 2 nights or 3 nights, but sir, if you are illegal, this is the process. You point them to the process of legality. You point them. Even if you could try to help them to move from illegal status to legal, okay. But if they fail, you have to send them on. So the church has to be very careful in this matter, that we remain law-abiding citizens while we also make sure that we feed the hungry. But the church should not be encouraging the breaking of a nation's law, especially a nation that has a process for you to come in legally. We need to understand this. This is what that woman priest, bishop, did not understand. She didn't understand that in a nation of laws, where the rule of law, it is the job of the government to deal with illegal immigrants. That is the job. The job of the church is to feed them, give them water, and to point them to the process, maybe even help them with the process. But it is the job of the government, not the job of the church. It is the job of the government to ensure the rule of law and that everyone is in the country legally in the process. That's the job. So the church cannot place upon the government a request to make the government ignore a group of people who are breaking the law. That is what the bishop requested of Donald Trump. He said, please, these people are breaking the law, but please allow them to continue to break the law. That is her request. No. The job of the church is to feed them, give them water, give them clothes, but point them to the process. The job of the church in every country is to point people to the process, especially in a country that is democratic, that has a process for you to legitimize. So who is an undocumented immigrant? The undocumented immigrant is the most dangerous of them all because they don't even have the documentation to prove that they are who they are. And so many of them come from criminal background, cartel background, come from all over the place. They don't bring their records with them because their records will point to who they truly are. Then they go into the United States through the back and have no documents. They're undocumented. They're not in the system. They don't have the papers to put them into the system. And many of them have committed crimes. Not just where they come from, but they're literally committing crime in this new place that you want to call home. That's a problem. So we should never forget that the government has a job to play biblically in exerting authority, in protecting its borders, in protecting the national security of its people. So when Colombia decide that they are not going to take those military planes, even though they had given permission for the planes to leave, they did not give permission for the planes to land. So they gave the impression that they were going to accept those people, then they changed their mind and then claim that, oh, the people are being treated poorly, that they got handcuffed and undignified, and they went into a whole political debate. But the truth of the matter is, those illegal people, they're Colombians, they don't belong in America. If you want to belong in America as a Colombian, go do it legally. Do it legally. So they are lawbreakers in the United States. That's why America put chain pan there. Now you might say they not commit no law in Colombia, but in America they have broken the law. So they come to you in chains, then your job is to set them free. So Colombia began to play bad, and there was a half-hour trade war, and now Colombia is behaving itself. Why? Because America is exerting its authority in the world. So some people don't like that because they prefer to see a weakened America and a strengthened United Nations, or I don't know, they probably just want to see a weakened America. Let's put it that way. And so what Trump says is he's going to make America great again. They don't like that. Your job and my job is to make Belize great. That's as far as I am concerned. Let America do their thing. I'm a Belizean. I'm not going to live in America, at least for the foreseeable future. Never had an interest in that. All of my immediate family is here in Belize. So America is not a thing for us. We have a Belizean dream, not an American one. So I don't, you are a Belizean in America, my relative or not, you are a Belizean in America, you better be legal. You better be legitimate. You better got your green card. You better got you better got your ducks in a row. Because if you don't, you have broken the law in the United States, and the penalty and the consequences you will feel. So we'll take a break and we'll be back. We'll wrap that up when we return. But that is just how I see it. The church plays a role. Everybody deserves food and water, but the government has to do its job in national security. We'll take a break and we'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine on PlusTV.
Sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave me home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. Creole and Garifuna, Mestizo and Maya, living in peace.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
In the heart of this vibrant city, where dreams soar high and opportunities unfold, there's a name you can trust for your peace of mind. Simpsons Insurance Agency Limited. With its headquarters at the Phoenix Business Center, we are your trusted partner in securing your future. At Simpsons Insurance Agency Limited, we represent industry leaders in insurance, Guardian General Insurance Limited, Sagicor, and Ana Seguros. Life is unpredictable, and we understand the importance of protecting what matters most to you, your family, and your assets. Our dedicated team at Simpsons Insurance Agency Limited is committed to guiding you through the insurance needs, providing tailored solutions to meet your unique needs. But that's not all. Phoenix Business Center houses more than just our insurance agency. Our state-of-the-art conference room is at your service. Elevate your business meetings in a professional environment strategically located in the capital city. Simpson's Insurance Agents Limited, your one-stop insurance solution.
The Climate Finance Unit, established in 2022 within the Ministry of Economic Development, focuses on accessing climate finance to support Belize's adaptation and mitigation targets. Within 2 years, the CFU has secured $166 million in climate funds for environmentally sustainable sectors in Belize. Key CFU projects include a $77.6 million initiative to enhance the resilience of northern sugarcane farmers. This project will benefit 5,000 farmers and strengthen Belize's sugar industry, a critical economic sector. Additionally, CFU is leading a $44 million IDB-funded wastewater and solid waste management project on Key Cocker to enhance the island's environmental health. Through the IDB Klima initiative, Belize can receive a 5% loan rebate by achieving climate and biodiversity targets. The CFU's ongoing work supports a range of sectors, including agriculture, water security, and coastal management, and has created over 144 jobs through climate finance projects.
Welcome to Builders Hardware, your one-stop home improvement warehouse. Everything you need to bring your projects to life, all in one place. From nails to power tools, we've got you covered. Our inventory spans the essential for every project, big or small. Come and find quality products at unbeatable prices. Whether you're picking up paint, plumbing supplies, or electrical tools, you'll find great deals every day. Don't know what you need? Our expert and customer-friendly team is here to guide you through every step of your project. Need it delivered? We've got you covered there too. Get your products delivered to you anywhere in the country. So come on in and discover endless possibilities for your home renovations. Builders Hardware. We think our customers are
awesome! Hello Bamapan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at the Bonfan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
Pletz Home Builders is the largest house building company in Belize. Pletz combines the best skilled workers, high-grade materials, and the latest technology to produce the highest quality wooden residential structures. Request any size, color, and the home layout you want. Choose from hardwood or painted metal outer walls. Pletz can modify any of their existing house plans to your satisfaction, complete with all the installation services you need anywhere in the country, including ambergris key. They can also lift your house to your desired height up to 9 feet. From properly treated and cured lumber to quality sidings and floorings, let Pletz Home Builders give your home the finish you need. For prices or questions, call 823-0398 or go to www.pletzhomebuilders.com. Pletz Home Builders, we build to suit your needs.
Start the new year with big savings on your 2025 property taxes. From January 1st to March 31st, 2025, the Belize City Council is offering incredible property tax discounts that you won't want to miss. Prepay your annual property tax by January 31st, 2025 and enjoy 15% off. Pay by February 28th and you'll save 10%. And if you pay by March 31st, you'll still enjoy a 5% discount. But wait, there's more. Senior citizens can enjoy a fantastic 35% discount upon full payment of property taxes for the property they reside on all year round. Please note, these discounts are available only to property owners who are up to date with their accounts. As you take advantage of this discount, we kindly remind all property owners of your responsibility to visit City Hall or utilize our online platform to complete your payments and to ensure your contact information is accurately updated in our system. For more details on these incentives, visit our Belize City Council Facebook page or give us a call at 227-3073, extension 261 or 264. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize. If I ever had to leave Belize, if I ever had to leave Belize, where would I go? Where would I go? Where would I spread my bed? Where would I lay my head? Nobody know. Nobody know. If I ever had to leave my home, no other place I ever roam could be like Belize. Be like Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize.
This beautiful morning, and we've been talking a little bit in the last segment about migrants and immigrants and refugees and illegal immigrants and undocumented workers. So there are many people, when they listen to either Donald Trump speaking or the American media, A lot of Belizeans are confused with these terminologies. And I think too that those of us who are Christians who see people in need to know how to help. If we can help, what areas can we help in? Because as Christians, we are not only called to help law-abiding citizens. That's why we go to prison. Why do we go to prison? Right? These are people who have broken the law, but they're still human. They still have dignity. They still need to be encouraged, discipled, and then integrated back into society. So if there's anybody who should understand that we help people who are in need, then it's the church. Whether they are legal or illegal, if people need help, we should help them. But then it's why look at drugs, the issue of drugs. You know, people are disenfranchised, they're out of it, and then we go for those people and we try to bring them back to health, and then we try to help them to beat their addiction. And some of these people have broken the law. Some of them have not been law-abiding citizens. Some of them have some very bad attitudes, character flaws that need to be worked on. And as a body of Christ, we work on them and we bring them to a place of normalcy. So as it relates to immigration and the concept that some people have this idea of open borders, and it conflicts against the sovereignty of a nation and national security priority that government must focus on as a part of its responsibility. And the church, as it carries out its job, cannot and should not break the law or encourage people to break the law in our effort to be humanitarian or to fulfill the mandate to help poor people. So again, a refugee is a status. A refugee is a status that is recognized, but there is a process. So a person comes into a country and they come and ask you for food, they come and ask you for lodging, for water, for help, right? So you're not going to say, okay, well, show me your refugee card and I will help you if you are legal or if you're not legal. No, giving food and water to a person is because they are hungry, not because they are legal or illegal. Not because they are a criminal or not a criminal, a drug addict or not a drug addict. See, we help people because they're in need. But a refugee who runs to your country runs there because they have an imminent threat in their country. Maybe like in the case of Nicaragua, it's religious because they're cracking down right now on Christian leaders and so on in Nicaragua, right? Because the Sandinista government is there, they hate the church and they're persecuting members of the church. In Salvador, it was probably because of gang warfare. There was a lot of gangs. Of course, the president is working on that now, and so that is finding its place. In Honduras, there was a time when there was a civil war, etc., and many Hondurans are in Belize because of the civil war. So each country is designated, like Haiti. We know the problems that are happening in Haiti. Venezuela, there are problems, but it's not everybody who run from those countries to your country qualify as a refugee. First, they go in and they will come to your country. You should point them out to the refugee department. Point them out where they can register, where they can apply for refugee status. We should help refugees. We may one day become a refugee. But a refugee has a legitimate reason. But a person may come and they may be a gangster and they are trying to say, well, you know, see this chap and this chap, that because they hated me, the government was coming after me, and it's not true. So the job of our immigration and our refugee department is to sort that story out and to see where the truth is, to back it up with evidence, and if it works out, then that person is given refugee status. So a person has to wait. They're in a waiting time frame, but they have applied for refugee status. In some countries, you have to apply, then you get accepted, then you go to that country. I have known of cases in Belize where a person comes to the country, then they apply, because the state their status is in such a condition that they had to run, then they apply. In some countries, if you go to that country, then apply, you disqualify. They want you to apply first. So you have to follow the law of that country. But while that person is under the process of application, they are given a document. They have a document that says they have applied. So they can show that to the police, they can show that to you, they can show it. But they are not allowed to work. Then if a person gets refugee status, some are allowed to work, some are not allowed to work. So you have to look at that as well too. And that little document or card that they get will tell you if they can work or they cannot work. So that is important, which is different, and a refugee is different from an illegal immigrant. The illegal immigrant has come into the country illegally, or has overstayed their time, or has entered through an area that is not a port of entry, or has skipped some kind of process, and they're not in your country legally. Maybe they come on a visitor's visa and decide to stay. Then there is this tricky one, which is economic immigrant, economic. Most countries do not allow economic situation as a reason to apply and become legal in that country. We need to understand that. Because you cannot say, well, I couldn't make it in my country. You know, I couldn't find a job in my country. And if you listen to a lot of the illegal immigrants, they're going to America to work. This is economic. It is rejected by most countries as a reason to live there. Why? Because you have poor people in your own country that need to work too. So it sets up a competitive environment where there are people in your country that want to work. Then those people can't find a job in their country. Then they come to your country and take away jobs from people in your country. A lot of people don't understand these issues, but then they quarrel and they fuss and they cuss up, and they don't understand. Economic migrant and economic immigration is illegal in most countries. What is the process in the United States if you want to work in the United States? Legally, there is a process. There is a legal process. So this is what rule of law is. That if a person is waiting in the line to do things legally and it takes them 2 years, then you just jump across the border, go to your cousin, stay up on the couch, find a job and start to work. You have jumped the line. You doing it illegally have disenfranchised a person who is waiting in the line for 2 years that is trying to do it legally. You should be sent home. I don't care what you think of what I say. I'm just telling you. You should be sent home because there are other people that have applied that are waiting their turn. They're doing it legitimately, and you gone through the back and get a job. So you disenfranchise those who are legitimately applying and waiting their turn. So this is how it works in the United States. A company in the United States, if they need 50 workers, they have a huge project, whatever it is. It could be it could be in software, hardware, manufacturing, housing, agriculture. Let's take this call. Carla, good morning.
Pastor Witt, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Good morning.
I was one individual in constant in the past against what we have done to believe with opening the border. Apparently Trump listened to me and he decided, yes, this country is being invaded by peoples of other nations. Believe has already been invaded. The only difference I understand in America, I'm not versed, but in Belize, yes, that when we go there, they facilitate us employment, etc., etc., etc. And we must be thankful for them to have lots of us migrate and become American Belizeans. Yes, but one thing they don't do is to give you a land. You buy house. We, on the other side of the fence, we give them land. And give them land and register them to vote. And they vote for who give them land. And that is what affecting our little belief. We are self-centered. We are for party. We are for us and with family. And to hell with this state. It is a pity. So maybe this is a wake-up call sorry, for all of us, not a politician. Like this dollar, where shift into a different state. Man, we should have been consulted. I am not, maybe I against it, maybe you in favor. But you not take one party and decide for a state how their currency when look when it fly into other countries. Will we, anyway, I know versed in another area of finance or handling of currency. But man, we know, you mean we know give thanks to the British for carving this piece of land for us? We no give thanks. He could have said Guatemala, all right, you know, honor the agreement. All right, cool, take your land. But my interest, whatever I have here, I will control with my army, whatever he could say. But take your land. Again, no, he was stern. We get independence so quick. We may inexperience. That's why we're in at the hole. We owe more than where we profit. I could go on. Anyway, pass you take care. All the best.
Thank you very much for your call this morning. Thank you, Mr. Torres. So as we wrap up, you know, I was saying that there is a process to go to the United States and work legitimately. I interviewed some people from Corozal Town who go to the United States legally through a process. They work with a company, they work with different companies in a particular city, and when the work is finished, they come back home. They bring their money, come back home. When it's time to go, they go again legally, work, and come back legally. And America will always need skilled labor. Countries will need skilled labor, but you have to do so legally. Get skilled, get trained. So a company in the United States says we need 50 people. We need 50 people to do this particular work. So they have to convince the government in the United States that they have looked for these 50 people and they can't find them. They say, well, we've been able to find 10, we've been able to, you know, we needed 100 and we found 50, but we can't find 50. So they apply to the government And then they are able to bring these 50 workers from another country. They can come to Belize and say, okay, we need 50 people. It will be for 1 year, 6 months, 2 years, whatever period of time it is. And then they work the process so that they get the proper visa for those Belizeans to go and work in the United States legitimately. So America does have a process where an economic migrant can legally go to the United States and work. There's a specific name for the visa. It's been in the news as well. But don't skip the line. Don't jump the fence. Don't jump the fence. And the church should not promote people breaking the law to go into another country to live. Follow the process. Follow the process. And so, do we feed everybody? Yes, of course we feed everybody. Would I feed an illegal immigrant? Of course. Would I give them clothes, water? Of course. But the next thing I would do would say, please go sort your immigration situation out. If there's somewhere I could help you, we will help you. But people need to be legal. And the church should not promote the breaking of law, much less a bishop talking to a president in front of the whole country, tell them that certain people deserve the law to be broken for them. And you want the president to break the law and to ignore the law as it relates to a group of people, who the president has already said that those who break the law in this particular manner must face the consequences, which is the job of the government of any state. So the church must also know its place, and the government must know its place. From all of us here at Rise and Shine, God bless you, Belize. See you tomorrow.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize. Sweet Belize, land of the islands and keys, land of the barrier reef. I love me sweet Belize.